What up, what up? This is not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman, but you already knew that. Now, before I start today, I want to send a rest in peace shout out to Kai, Brownsville Kai, born Kasim Ryan, Brooklyn MC, who passed away unexpectedly on Saturday, October the 12th. It was just announced yesterday. I first heard of Kai back in the 90s. He used to go by the name K.A. He was in a group called Natural Elements and then spun off into another group called Nightbreed. You know, I was a big fan of Stretch and Bobbito. Was a college radio station, WKCR, Columbia Radio. So, you know, Columbia College had their own radio station, Stretch and Bobbito, highly influential. If you're from the 90s era, you heard of them. And then NYU also had a radio station. Shout out to Martin Moore and Mayhem. And Natural Elements were big on those two stations, right? And just the underground scene in New York. So I first heard of KA through that. And, you know, of course, he went on to become Kai or rebrand himself as Kai. And he dropped albums like Ironworks, The Night Gambit, A Martyr's Reward. His most recent was The Thief Next to Jesus. Just known as a wordsmith, put a real premium on his words. He was 1,000% independent. You know, the way that he sold his albums, and he used to go deliver his albums to fans, like hand deliver it to people who bought the album. Like through his art, he really made a connection with his fans and was really forward thinking in that way, like literally like hand to hand selling CDs and crafting this fan base. A real trailblazer in that regard. There are people better than me to really memorialize his life and career and put it into context right now, but I wanted to pay my respects because I really did respect him. So, you know, rest in peace to Kai. I'm sending love to his family, his friends, and all his fans, right? Just one moment of silence. Word. Appreciate that. Appreciate y'all riding out, and you know, definitely go check out his music if you haven't heard it, man. You know, he's gone in the physical, but what he left, his art will live forever. All right, so his legacy is real. All right, so for today's episode, we're gonna call this episode "Not Everything Is a Diss." Okay, not everything is a diss. I'm gonna run it down. Last week, Ab-Soul dropped the record called "Squeeze First 2" from his upcoming album Soul Burger. The record is a nod to a 2000 Jay-Z record called "Squeeze First" that was on the Dynasty album. So on the record, Soul starts it off and says, "Minnesota warned me that they want a war, but they actually forfeiting like the wardrobe for half of the week." So a little wordplay there. So this blew up when my man Jeremy Het, shout out to my man Jeremy Het from Hip Hop DX. He's also a co-host on The Bigger Picture with Elliot Wilson and DJ Head. And if you watch Justin Hunt's stream last week, his live stream that I was a part of with FD Signifier and Professor Sky and Curtis King, and Jeremy Het was there also. Jeremy is my guy. I like Jeremy a lot. I think he's a dope reporter. I think, you know, he's a dope young journalist. But he blew this up with a tweet. And I saw his tweet in real time. But so he says, Ab-Soul threw jabs at J.Cole after Cole did him dirty by adding him and Daylyt to a song with a verse dissing Kendrick on Pie. This is a question for rap fans. Cole dropped out with Kendrick, but he still claims his pen is unmatched. Does he have to engage with Soul to prove it? So I saw this tweet and I'm like, really? I was like a little bit confused because I didn't catch the disses. I'm just like, wow, I didn't hear the diss. So I saw it. I was skeptical. And then Jeremy tweeted the bars. So the bars I just read to you about they want a war, but they actually forfeiting, which, I mean, let's be real. Cole forfeited. Like, I get it. So Jeremy tweets the bars. It's a screenshot from the Genius site. And he says, light jabs, but speculation is this could be towards Cole. So speculation. Then I tweeted at Jeremy when I seen this because I wasn't completely sold. So literally I said, I don't know, man. I'm not completely sold here. And Jeremy responded. He said, I'm going to drop a breakdown tomorrow, but this is based off of at G Malone. That's Glasses Malone. Shout out Glasses Malone. Saying Cole threw shots on Pie and didn't add his verse until after Soul and Daylyt had theirs recorded. So he said it was something that Glasses Malone said. Shout out to Glasses again. That's my guy. I didn't see what Glasses said, but it just boils down to this. Me personally, and if y'all hear different, y'all let me know. I don't hear any shots on Pie. Like, I never heard the shots on Pie. Like, definitely not at Kendrick. So this was all like news to me. This was all like new information. And of course, Pi appeared on Might Delete Later, where 7 Minute Drill also appeared. The Kendrick diss record that Cole eventually took down and took back. But I was just under the impression that Might Delete Later was being put together in the midst of, even before when this battle was occurring. And 7 Minute Drill was like the last minute addition because Cole felt he had to respond. The record wasn't good. Cole took it back, took it off, got on the Dreamville stage, said what he said. So I didn't really listen to the rest of Might Delete Later thinking that there was any smoke for Kendrick or anything alluding to this battle. Just the way that records and projects get created. Like, you know, you could work on something up to a year in advance. But I didn't hear any shots on Pi regardless. Yeah, there were bars like, because Cole's always beating his chest, right? So he had a bar like, you know my zone, I live here at the top right now, I'm home alone, Macaulay cock, I keep the shotty cock in case somebody plot to rob me of this godly spot. Which to me is a dope way to just say, yo, I'm number one. I'm the number one guy. But it doesn't mean it's a shot. And I'm not even saying people are necessarily saying that bar, but I'm using that bar as an example, right? Now, maybe these bars don't hit the same after Cole removed himself from the Kendrick battle. Like, that's fair. If someone says, hey, man, after he didn't want to battle, it don't sound the same to me when Cole say he number one. It don't sound the same to me when Cole say his pen is hot. I don't want to hear it. Like if that's your stance, that's fair. Like that's 1,000% fair. It doesn't mean that it was a shot though. Like when rap is rap, there isn't always a target, right? For example, and this is just from personal experience that I'm bringing into it. A lot of y'all know that I do music. In 2020, I did a song called Move, actually produced by St. Pat. St. Pat is the same guy, along with Python P, who produced the Play the Collard Greens for Daylyt and J.Cole. But me and Pat did a song in 2020 called Move, and I started the second verse. I say, the streams is low and the sales is minuscule. That's cool. I'm better than the rappers that I interview. And I don't give a fuck if I offended you in general, and it's whatever if you ever think it's meant for you. So, again, everybody knows I do interviews, so the streams is low, the sales is minuscule. Like, I'm acknowledging I'm not moving the needle stat-wise, but that's cool. I'm better than the rappers that I interview. Like, hey, I'm not in it for sale. Like, my skill is on display here. Now, I wrote that because I thought it was dope to say. I interviewed hundreds of rappers. And when I wrote that line, I wasn't thinking about anybody specific. I was just like, oh, this is some dope shit to say. It wasn't like it was targeted at anybody. I think we got, and so I say that, say like a lot of MCs do that. Like you'll write a rap, and rappers definitely do subs, but you'll write a rap and it's not necessarily directed at anybody. I think we got into this place where we're always looking for the diss of something, and it's for a few reasons. And again, first off, we have to acknowledge rappers do send subliminals. Like it's absolutely a thing. You're not crazy for because there are enough subliminals to but not everything is a sub, but rappers do send subliminals. Two, as fans, the competition part, the battle part is always more interesting. That excites us. It excites me as a fan, like to see two of the best go at it. So it's always exciting. And then three, as far as the content creators, the media, and I'm not saying this about Jeremy per se, but I'm talking about the whole thing, all of us, this whole landscape. We get paid per click, and negativity sells, beef sells. Again, you've heard me talk about, when Kendrick and Drake was going at it, traffic was up, clicks were up. That means the money coming in was more than you would see on a regular day. I did a video the other day where Axe said he bought a Maybach off of the Kendrick Drake beef. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my YouTube did the best it's done in that month and a half. So generally, we're incentivized to keep the beef up. Why would we want the beef to stop? And I use the word we loosely. Like I'm not excluding anybody, and I'm not zeroing in on anybody. Like, this is just the landscape. Like the creators, the media, like, you're incentivized to keep the beef up because the business is good. Y'all love to hear about it because y'all click on it incessantly. And then some of us love talking about it. So we'll talk about it. It'll give you what you want. Sometimes when the beef isn't there. But this goes back to, if you remember when Big Sean did On the Radar freestyle, remember that? And certain accounts were saying that he was dissing Kendrick. And I came up here and I did a video and I said, yo, I don't hear the diss. Like, I'm all for the back and forth, but like, it's just crazy to me when it's forced. So I'm like, I don't hear the diss in that Big Sean freestyle. Like he was saying, I got better things to do than to find somebody to beef with. Literally saying, like, so I just didn't hear the not everything is a diss, is what I'm saying. That being said, too, I want to go to Port Antonio, because a lot of people are saying that Cole was dissing Kendrick on that. And I don't, and again, you could not like the record. You could think the record is weak. You could think, yo, Cole, I don't want to hear this shit. Like, that's all valid. But I don't hear the diss. And Cole says, they see this fire in my pen and they think I'm dodging smoke. I wouldn't have lost the battle, dog. I would have lost the bro. I would have gained the foe, and all for what? Just to attain some more props from strangers that don't got a clue what I've been aiming for. I don't hear the diss. He's not saying I wouldn't have lost the battle. Like, a lot of people are taking that as he's saying, oh, I would have won. I wouldn't have lost the battle. That's not even the point of the bar, because you isolate in that one part like it's an isolated statement. It's him saying the possibility of losing a battle is not what bothers me. The possibility of losing a friend is what's more important. I feel like that's pretty clear. Like, now I'm saying, and I'm not here to convince you. I said that in my Port Antonio video. You could absolutely say, yo, Cole forfeited that battle with Dot, and I don't want to hear him say he's the best anymore. Don't talk to me about the fire in the pen. Don't talk to me about dodging smoke. None of that. And that makes perfect sense. Like, I get why people would say that. That makes absolute perfect sense. As a fan, that is justified on its own. Like, you don't need to justify that feeling. Like, I get that feeling. Like, I personally don't feel as strongly as others do about that, but I get when people say that. I understand that. But you don't have to make the line a line of diss to feel that way. You understand what I'm saying? What the difference is? Like, you could just stand on how you feel. You don't need to diss. So Punch, president from TDE, steps in. He also has the group, A Room Full of Mirrors, and, which Daylyt is a part of. And he went on to set the record straight. You know what I'm saying? So he says, he quote tweets Jeremy Hexting, and he says, I hate to clear up rumors, and I usually let them fester and see how far they go. But all verses on Pi were recorded long before Like That. So, he's marking Like That as the jumping off point. Future, Metro Boomin, Kendrick as the jumping off point for the beef. Like, first person shooter. Some people say it starts at first person shooter. Again, those first person shooter bars that, who's the best MC? Is it K Dot? Is it Aubrey? Is it me? I feel like Muhammad Ali. Again, those could have been direct shots. I mean, he definitely was, or that could have just been friendly competition. I think at that point, Cole is just like, oh, this is just friendly competition. We just having fun. And Kendrick ain't take it like that. You know what I'm saying? You also can't get mad. You might have been throwing friendly bars out there thinking it was going to be like, oh, cool, we going to battle, we going to go back and forth, but it's going to be fun and it's going to be about rap. You could throw it out there, but, you can't control how somebody else takes it or how somebody else interprets it. But for all intents and purposes, Like That was the start of the battle. Like That is where the clear line in the sand gets drawn. And Kendrick draws that line on Like That. Clear line. No more subliminals. No more playing around. Stop all this cute shit. Motherfuck the big three. It's just Big Me. Let's go. Boom. Clear line is drawn. So what Punch is saying is all the verses on Pi were recorded long before Like That. I tell you one better. Plate Full of Collard Greens was recorded long before Like That. I heard Plate Full of Collard Greens maybe about a year ago, if I'm being honest. So, I mean, these records, these records with Daylyt and Cole have been in the works for some time, right? We just don't hear them fresh out the oven when they come out. So Punch says all the verses for Pi were recorded long before Like That. So with that being said, according to Jeremy, what Glasses says about the Cole disses on Pi, then it don't really hold up, right? Because it wasn't like the battle was in full effect. Punch goes on and says, when the MC is in his or her I'm the best bag, they're usually dissing everyone and no one at the same time. It's part of the motif for most MCs. The lines are usually open-ended and can apply to any other rapper unless it's a specific reference. That goes back to, my example about I'm better than rappers that I interview. I've interviewed 100 rappers, including Kendrick, including Drake, including Cole, Future, Dirk, Nicki, Corday, shout out my man Corday, Joey Badass, Lil Baby, J.I.D., like Schoolboy Q, the list goes on and on, Lil B, you know what I'm saying? Like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So the line is open-ended or can apply to any other rapper. Me personally, I wasn't thinking about anybody. Like I just said it because it was some cool shit to say. It wasn't like I had one specific or group of specific rappers in mind. I'm just like, oh, this is just some fly shit to say. So, and it wasn't like a specific reference. I'm better than rappers than I interview, but I've interviewed 100 rappers. So who was I talking about? You can never say. So I'm just saying I could relate to when Punch says this. You know what I'm saying? It's part of how rappers think. And Daylyt files it up and he says, I'll say this one last time. Pie was not a .diss or had anything to do with the rap beef. Pie was a song from my album. The song was done almost a whole year before the rap beef happened. We decided to add it to Might Delete Later. 25 is lit. 25 is light season. Be ready. So, I think that clears it up. You know what I'm saying? I hope that clears it up. I wonder if people tell me if you thought it was a diss, and now when you hear Punch and Daylyt come and clear it up, that it changes your mind, or do you still think it's a diss? You know what I'm saying? Like some people, sometimes we kind of present information, and then people was like, "Damn, okay, you changed my mind. I see what they saying now. I get it." But some people you just hold on to it, like, yo, it's a diss. So I want to hear from y'all. You know, unless y'all trolling, I don't get mad at any of the comments. We could completely disagree, but I love the competition. I love rap. I love the competition, but not everything is a beef. Not everything is a diss. Sometimes it's just rap. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, do all of that. And I'll see you at the next one, all right? Peace.